Alright, so I'm gonna go over what I have. This is part one of two videos. This one's going over the editor. Um, so yeah, so I'm gonna there's a screenplay asset right here called Baba, and to create one, it's pretty easy. Just go right here and right there, and I'm gonna open it up. And this is the default layout. So you got 4 tabs here, 3 here, 1 here, and I'm just gonna move some of these around to the way I like it. It's optional, so and then okay, now I'm gonna hide these. I think they're pretty ugly anyway. So I'll start over here. I have this editor settings tab, and this is your syntax colors for a section. So you can change your text, just the colors of everything. So the text here, and then you got your background colors, your 2 background colors. You got your read-only background color and tint. I set these values so they match, so they're different. But anyway, this color is based off by default is a tint, so the background color plus this. So white's still dark because Unreal Engine 5 it has its own theme engine. So if you want white in the background, you gotta change the actual editor theme. That makes sense. And then you got your font size here. So I'm gonna put 10. So those are saved per project here. So I just have them under game here, and they're here. So it's a config file. You can export it, import it. So, but I just added it in the editor for quick access. Anyway, so once you edit these values, it will remember it every time you open up the project, so you don't have to reset them. So anyway, you got your actual text here. Here's a narration, your script, like your screenplay. Here you got your simulator window, and here you got your simulator data. So we're gonna ignore this line for this part 1 because it doesn't do anything. So you got your comments. You can make a comment. I just accept single line comments because getting all this to work with multi-line comments was a pain in the butt. I think they're fine. So you can make notes here, or you can disable things you don't want to do anymore just for testing. So I'm just going to show you the example here. So as you can see, the default value for this variable is start, and then you got Baba forgot. Actually, that one's wrong. Baba start. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, Baba start. So it's going to start here. So I'm going to click play, and you're going to see it went here first. Yeah, that's a little glitch. To select, it selects based on the search, and based on the selecting thing, it just highlights it. So that's a weird, but anyway, you're gonna see that this is disabled now. This is disabled, you can't change this. So you got your default variables loaded in over here. And let's say I change this. It's gonna stay 0 because these variables are remembered between all the scripts they're shared. But you can just change them here if you want to for testing. But let's say I get rid of this one. Then I put this one back at 5. It's going to load up in here as 5. I'm going to keep this as 1, as 0 I mean. Okay, so now I'll finally go through this whole thing. So I'm going to go click play. So it's going to do an event. These are custom events. Write the logic and blueprints. So camera zoom in. So you know how some games you start to talk and you zoom in. I'll get back to this in a bit. So then you got your loud. I'm just testing things. Then you got hey player variable. So it says hey player. So player here. I see you're finally awake. Yeah, I know this text is not exactly what you written, but I changed some things just to test things like this. But you can, of course, change it back. And it's Bob was talking, and then Piri, I don't even know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. You're finally freedom. So as you can see, one asterisk is text, and two asterisks is a response. So I'm going to click this. Then it's going to go. So you group these asterisks all together, and they're done all at once. And then sent over to the UI or whatever, the data to the controller. So as you can see, you're finally awake. So, I mean, let me see. Finally freedom here. So it chose the first option. Let's try that again. He has to go out. Okay. So finally freedom. Finally adventure. So it's random based on this right here. So we'll continue down the line. So I clicked my response, and now Baba is starting to talk. So I'm going to be, please let me go. But before I click that, this one is a little bit different. You have your one asterisk, so you have your text, and you got two responses, and then you have a three asterisks. This is a default response based on a timer. That's optional. You don't have to use it. So you see it's over here. It's 0. So I'm going to let that go. So you're going to see the timer is going down. And I'm not going to say anything. And then it will now be Piri will say nothing. And Baba will insult you because of that. And then it's, yeah, you do this chunk. So I'll explain what this means. So these brackets here, so let's say you did the first response, it's going to do this text. If you did the second response, it's going to do this text. If you did the third response, so index 2 is actually the third one, it's going to do this text. And then it's going to do both of these because you have no, I call these selectors. But of course you can do oops. So you can have more than I did that wrong, didn't I? I think I clicked the wrong one. Let me try that again. Here, sorry. So you can have multiple of the same number. So yeah, so every time you make a new line, it's a news. It clears a text box and then it goes to a new line. So that's how that works. So all right, so our state is start. So this is going to set our variable start Papa state to start forget. So it's going to play again. Just going to do, so it's going to end. So you reach the end of the section. So it's over, but you're going to see our variable now, Papa state is now start forget. So next time I click play, it's going to use this section. So So I click play, and you can see it's on the section now. And let me disable something. So I'm gonna click play, and get your response. So I'm gonna click that tends to happen when you get older, because she forgot. Like I said, I added some text just to test things. So you're gonna see the output was what you say little twerp and then show me respect to your elders, because I clicked the first response. And then it's also going to go to here to have only this one reply, because it's the first response. I'm going to click that. And then you're going to, because you click the first response here, it's also going to run this line right here. So I doubt you're sorry. I'll get back to work. So I should comment this one out too. So there. So period thanks. It's just gonna ignore this now. I hope that makes sense. So now get back to work. And the thing about this, so let's say in theory you had, oops, sorry, 1 second. A third response, whatever. A third response, it could be whatever, or whatever here. And then you had set response 1. Let's say, let's think this through. This index here is not based on what pops up over here. It's based on the text. So you might get 2 options. Like let's say you get 1 option, and it might be this one that pops up over here, but it's still going to be index 1, if that makes sense. So this one just doesn't get displayed. So that's why let's see if I did that right. Yeah, that's why it goes to this one anyway. I hope that makes sense. And I'm going to uncomment this. So I'm setting her state again. And this is how you can go to a different section. So it's going to start to go down here. We're going to replay this section. So I'm just going to click here. And it quickly, you can see, so we did a camera far shot. Then we did a camera zoom in. And because so this is a new command, the question mark with the question mark here, it's checking. It's only going to run this if these variables are true, and you can add more variables here, like, or flags, whatever you want to call these. You can call them flags. You can do that the same in here. So that's why already done. So he only said this, and then it finished. So because check would player would score is 0. Let's set this to 1. So now you're going to say, did that not work? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm dumb. Like I said, these are the default values, so I have to change it over here. So show me what you have. Are you sure you want to build a ship? So now it's the second one. 2. I can smell, work, and sweat. So this one right here. And then 3. So it's going to say all this. So yeah. So we'll go over some more features, and I'll explain what this is now. So as you can be seeing over here, it gives you your character and your let's go back to start. So Bob was talking, and then you're replying. So you're setting the default person talking with the colon, I think that's what it's called, and then the asterisk. So it's like this one, that's for talking, this one's for replying, and then you can see it's set to the variable. So this is useful because if, let's say, I get rid of this, you're going to say it's going to say none. And otherwise, you could just type in Baba, and you're going to see here, Baba. But maybe you don't want to do that every line, for every text input. So like here, you would do Piri, then you would go here, Baba. You set who's talking, because you can have more than 2 characters talking. So Baba, and you have to keep doing that, and it's pretty annoying. So that's why I added in these defaults. All right, let me get rid of these. And so every section, because you might start here, so you're never going to run this. For this script, these get reset every time you run the script, so you gotta set it every time. But anyway, so let's say you have your default, you got Baba and Piri. Let's say you want a different character to talk. I'm just gonna put in Bob. Bob will now say something. So Bob is now going to say something right here. So the way the simulator puts it out, it's on one line, but this would be like Bob right here would be the text box and character name section, if that makes sense. And you also get the data, so you know which character's talking, so you can make them do an action, or you can have the camera look at them. So that's how you can have like more than one character talking, and then you can do like a default response here too. So this could be someone else. So we'll let this timer go down. So someone else said that, not Piri, and this is basic. So that's how that works. I hope that all makes sense. Let me put that back. Let's see. You have your ors, so you want random because that's how you had it. I think that's how you had it in your example on Discord. You just do that. You can have as many as you want. It's random. Let's see. I think that covers all the features there. So basically with the simulator, you can test out your whole script without having to keep going back into the game, checking to see if things work and whatnot. So I hope that makes sense. So this would be part 1, so there's no in-game example yet. So let's see. So I have this system here. This handles everything right here. So, and then here's the editor, and there's all the editor stuff. So in the header file, you have your system here, and then editor, I'm just telling it to start here. So what I need to do, for the game is this system, the subsystem. So I know it's kind of confusing terminology. You got your system and subsystem. Subsystems are for game instances. I just call it a system because that's what I call it. This is for the game because it inherits. It's a game instance subsystem. So I hope that clears up the little possible confusion. So in here, all I have to do is add in fluid narrator system, screenplay system. This system, and then I'm just using this example system / play up, system dot start, and then I can just quickly call that, and then the logic is shared between the game and the editor to actually run the scripts. So the next thing is this is Unreal has two types of widgets here for UI. So this is a Slate widget. So this is for C++ only, and you can use them in blueprints, but you can't really like decide how they look. So I have to make a U widget component, U widget for blueprints, and then I just have to kind of just copy all this. So here's a simulator widget. So I'm just showing you. So when you're sending in your texts, just think about this as a node instead of code. This is where you would like set your text and stuff. And here, I'm setting it to wait for user response or the text to finish. But let's say you would notice here that this text gets done really fast. But in blueprints, you can make a typewriter text so it prints out step by step like most games do. And then you would just set this false here when it's done typing. And then it will continue down. So it won't get done all immediately like this. So you got control. So that should be done tomorrow. I hope you like what you saw. Yep.